did that different, didn't I? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Passions Podcast. Your host, LeTara, back again with Kelley with an EY. All right, Kelley, how you feeling after our break, you know?
Good. Happy to be back. Like I said, I always enjoy talking about passion, spending time with you.
We're in for part 2, honey. And if you watched part 1, this episode will not be as emotional.
Yeah.
Child, cause we had a little meeting, did we not?
We did.
It was nice though, to an extent. At a certain point, I was like, Tara, pull yourself together.
Hey, it's all right. Like I said.
So we are still talking about episodes 926 through 930. We're going to get into Chad and Whitney, Magic, and Sharice. I think. What do you think we should start with this week?
How are your notes for Magic? Because I don't have a ton.
I hardly have anything. But
yeah, I don't have a ton.
I feel like most of this is interchangeable. Yes, Simone does go over to Kay, but like it's not consequential. How the sequence of events isn't consequential. So
would you like to start there because it's short, or would you want to do that at the end?
We can start there. Let's start there, and then we'll catch up with Chad and Simone and finish with Sharice.
Sounds good.
All right. Before we do that, I want to give a shout out to all the patrons over on Patreon. Thank you to Muna Shea, Lisa S, Zach, Sid, Sarana, Randall, Hannah, Camelia, Amanda, Jeanette, Eric, Jamie, Fantasia, Sean S, Larissa, Maria, Lisa A, Jessica Jean, Laura, Karen, Uche, Paige, Casey, Garage, Shawnette, Stephen Winthrop, Daisy, Shane, Kelley C, who's here with us today, Kelley with an EY, Taylor Harris Crane, DJ, Kelly M, Rodo, Lisa R, Acacia, Andrew D, Andrew C, Jekyll Hyde, MB, Kendra Jill, and Trey. Thank you all for being patrons. I need to write a little Patreon song, a little jingle for y'all. Thank you, patrons. And if you would like to become a patron, go over to patreon.com and sign up for whatever tier you find most agreeable. We're having a lot of fun. We might go on a cruise. We talked about that a little bit last week. I'm not saying might, we are going on a cruise as long as the world doesn't end before then.
Exactly. That's what my mom said. As long as the world doesn't end, we're good. We're going.
As long as the world doesn't end before then, we're going to go on a cruise, probably in March or April of 2027. So go over to the Patreon. There will be information about that forthcoming, everybody, forthcoming. And if you can't go on the cruise, you can always join us for a watch party, because we definitely do those twice a month.
Oh, I don't feel we do enough of those. They are always so much fun.
I can't do more than what I'm already doing, but
I'm teasing, but
no, I know, I get it. It's because every time we have a watch party, especially like the first one in a month, usually I'm just like, man, it feels like it's been so long.
Yeah.
Since we had a watch party, and I'm like, I missed y'all, but you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder, is what they say.
Yeah, that, and we're always chatting on the Discord too.
Yeah. Listen, and let me say this announcement to all my people over on the Discord. Y'all feel free to like use those voice channels and the video channels and stuff and jump on and talk to each other, because all of those, you can do all of that stuff there. And maybe we should do like a informational session where we all figure out how to use Discord to its best ability, you know, and where everything is. Because I do feel like there's like more community building that could be happening on Discord. We just don't necessarily know how.
Yeah, because I had no clue until recently. And like I said, now that I had joined the Discord, I am so happy I did, because, you know, like I said, we're constantly chatting back and forth. We've got stuff going on almost all the time.
Yeah. So, because those of you who are like, because some people play like games and stuff, y'all could be on playing games together and everything. And I don't know how to do that, but we could figure it out. We could figure it out, you know. So maybe we could do a like I said, a little Zoom informational session. I would have to find somebody to lead it though, because what am I, the blind leading the blind? Naya knows how to use Discord. Maybe we'll get a Gen Z involved.
There you go.
We'll get a Gen Z involved and have her do a session for us. So, all right. Well, that's that. That's my little spiel. And now on with the show. So we're gonna pick up with magic. All right, let's get over to Tabitha and what's going on over here. Okay, there's not a ton going on with the magic storyline, but what we have, I love. So, first of all, we pick up. Remember, Tabitha is pregnant, so that's why I think that's what made this even funnier to me. Tabitha's pregnant, and so she is like tearing up this lemon pound cake. She's got a lemon pound cake in front, and she's like eating it, and she is, I mean, just luxuriating in the cake, right? She's like, this is so good. In fact, she says, this lemon pound cake is so great. She says, that chicken liver soup cake or whatever it is that Grace makes is unbearable, but this lemon cake is, so good. And she just keeps eating. And at this point, Kay enters with a bunch of books, a bunch of witchcraft books from the library. She went to the library and checked out a bunch of witchcraft books, as if Tabitha doesn't have a bunch of books.
I was going to say, Tabitha would have all the books.
I'm sure Tabitha has much better sources than what they have at the library, right?
I think one of them was like Witchcraft for Dummies, too.
That's basically what all of them was like Witchcraft for Dummies, beginner witchcraft. Yeah, like, stuff that Tabitha sees it, she scoffs at the books. But
she's right to do so.
Yeah. Kay is very, very anxious to start her education. Remember last week we had the support group with ICBVSGA. Well, this week's little, I can't even call it an acronym, but I called this whole situation with Tabitha in her house, I called it the Tabitha Lennox Little Witch Academy Dark Side Finishing School for Wayward Girls Incorporated. So TTLLWADSFSFWGI.
It's a great name, but long as fuck.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. It was so funny to me because at first I had just typed Little Witch Academy, and then I was like, it would be so funny if it was just a very long name for this, whatever we're doing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the Tabitha, and then it just grew and grew and grew, because it went from Little Witch Academy to Tabitha's Little Witch Academy to the Tabitha Lennox Little Witch Academy, and then it just grew and grew and grew from there.
I love the Wayward Girls, like Home for Wayward or whatever.
Oh, isn't that so good?
That's a great one.
The Tabitha home. It should be, what if it was the Tabitha Lennox Little Witch Academy Dark Side Finishing School and Home for Wayward Girls Incorporated.
There you go.
Oh my God, I'm going to add that in.
I love it.
School and home.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, most of my notes for magic was basically the freaking quotes, but either between Kay and Tabitha or just in general, because Tabitha was freaking letting zingers fly this week.
Tabitha's so funny. Give me an example of one of her zingers. I'd love to hear them. I didn't write them down.
Okay, like when talking Simone popping in, they were sitting there, and all of a sudden, like, Simone just bursts in, and then Tabitha just looks at her and goes, "We didn't hear you knock, Simone."
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Simone just lets herself in at one point.
Yeah, and then Tabitha goes, "It's Blondie in the bod." I forgot to write down who she was referring to. Oh, it was Charity and
Miguel. Yeah, she calls him Blondie in the bod.
Yeah, and then she has a cup of tea, and then she's like, "I'm going to make sure you swallow your drink of water before I say it."
Okay.
There's mud in your eye. Oh, yeah. I know they're little things, but they just made me laugh so hard.
That's mud in your eye. That was great.
And then at one point, Kay was making fun of Tabitha for being blonde or not a natural blonde.
Yeah, it was funny. It's great. I don't have a lot of notes, but what we have is great. So, yes, Kay is ready to start her education at the Tabitha Lennox Little Witch Academy Darkside Finishing School and Home for Wayward Girls Incorporated. And I'm sorry, it's the Incorporated for me.
I know, it's like...
I also love that I'm laughing so hard at some dumb shit that I wrote.
You're funny, so, I mean, hey.
Stupid. So Tabitha sees these books. She scoffs at them. She tells Kay practicing witchcraft is much more complicated than that. It's about understanding your powers and using them to energize the spells you cast. Then she explains to Kay that the source of her power is evil, unlike Charity's source, the source of Charity's power. And Kay says, oh, well, yeah, that's because she's blonde. And Tabitha's like, well, so am I. And this is when Kay looks at her as like, she basically is like, sure, Jan. You know that?
Yeah, sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. And then Tabitha tells her to tap into your power. You must understand evil. You must embrace evil. True, you have a certain amount of raw talent, but as yet you haven't reached the level of understanding of evil necessary to allow you to use your own powers. That's where I come in as your teacher. And this is when Simone shows up and just lets herself in. She like runs in, starts taking off her coat and taking off her shoes, just making herself at home. And she lets herself in and she interrupts this magic lesson, which I was annoyed by because I was kind of liking...
Yeah.
I was kind of liking our little Hogwarts situation we had going on here. I'm going to have to work Hogwarts or Harry Potter into this too. I'll have to figure that out.
I think they're Team Slytherin, those two, by the way.
Ooh, absolutely. Hufflepuff. These are a couple of Hufflepuffs.
True enough. That is a Hufflepuff.
Evil Hufflepuffs. Well, that's what they are. Harmless.
Harmless evil. That is definitely Hufflepuffs. And I am a Hufflepuff, so I get it. I am harmless evil. What I want to be.
Yeah. Although I can't exactly say they're harmless. They're not harmless, but
no,
what the show writes them as such. You
harmless,
know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So Simone shows up. She brings Kay up to speed on all the stuff that's going on between her, Chad, and Whitney, and we will get to that. It's stupid, but basically her scheme, the scheme that she set up for Chad and Whitney worked, and so she's very excited to tell Kay this, and Kay tells her, oh, Simone, I'm so proud of you, gives her a hug, and yeah, so while they are talking, Tabitha goes and checks on Charity and Miguel by using her water bowl thingy, and she sees them at the hospital. And let's talk about what's going on with Miguel and Charity at the hospital. Charity finds Miguel at the hospital, sees him at the hospital, and tells him that she just came to bring Antonio a signed baseball, a baseball signed by Nomar Garcia Parra. Do you know who that is?
Not a clue.
Oh, I looked him up, and apparently he was a very famous baseball player.
So. I pretty much follow only Detroit teams.
Wow,
I think he was a New York or Boston team.
I didn't even look at the teams. I just looked up who he was.
What bothered me. Who told, like, Miguel, like, there was no way of noting, like, unless they did it off screen. Told Charity that Antonio, well, she was still under the impression that Antonio was in a coma, and he'd woken up by this time.
Yeah.
As we previously said. And B, however I'm numbering that, how the fuck, like, what? This was, like, the most random
This was stupid. Girl, just say you wanted to come and see Miguel. That's what this was.
So fucking stupid. And I was like, how did she know? What?
No.
I don't think she's ever spent a moment, really, with Antonio.
No, she hasn't. And
this somehow knows this?
This was obviously, in my opinion, obviously a ploy for her to
Yeah,
see Miguel.
still, like,
And because I think she was worried about Miguel, so she had to come up with an excuse to go to the hospital, even though she could have just gone to the hospital saying that she was worried
right,
about
exactly.
Antonio and Miguel and the family or what have you. But
It would have made
instead, she
more
came
sense.
in with this baseball that was signed by this baseball player who apparently Antonio really likes.
Yeah, like, honestly, it would have made more sense.
Well, and
To
then
say,
her reasoning, she shows up with the baseball. She says, "I just thought maybe you could put this by his bed, and like I know he won't know it's there, but I thought maybe he would feel the energy, or maybe he would somehow know that it's there." Like,
it was the weirdest fucking thing.
it was bizarre.
It
The
drove
word,
me nuts. I was like, why? Just why?
and because she's weird. She's a weird girl.
That is true.
She's so weird. So she shows up with a baseball. And thinking that Antonio's still in his coma and thinking that the signed baseball will help. It's like she no mention of where she got it from, why she had it, where it came from, how she knew that Antonio would like it. I mean, I assume from some conversation she may have had with Miguel in the past.
But it was so random. So fucking random. It irritated me.
Yeah, it was weird. So anyway, this was just it was the dumbest way to get these two people to be able to have a conversation with each other. And basically, in this conversation, a conversation this was not. It's just Miguel begging Charity. It's just Miguel begging. I'm down on my knees, begging you, please. He's just begging her to get back with him. Baby, please come home.
Yes, he was. He was begging so hard. I was like, God, this is hurting.
Yeah. And at one point they hug because he tells Charity that Antonio woke up, and Charity's so happy for him that she hugs him, and they hug each other. And Miguel's like, I want it to always be this way, the two of us together, sharing our happiness, our love for one another. And Charity says, Miguel, I'm happy for you, and I'm happy for your family, but we can't be together. We can never be together. And this is when he starts to beg her, telling her that he's never going to give up on her. He says, seeing what happened with Luis and Sheridan, it proves to me that God doesn't want to waste true love. He wants couples who truly love each other to be together. And we love each other that way. We belong together. We belong together. We belong together, Charity.
And then Charity's going, we are never, ever, ever getting back
together. Yeah, she said no, never. No, yeah, she's very resistant. Of course, as she should be. Frankly.
Yeah, as she should be.
I want to be clear. She obviously is hurting and feels for Miguel and is drawn to Miguel. Like, I think she does want to get back together. She just feels like they can't get back together. Right?
Well, no, if you slept with, impregnated my cousin, and lied to me for months, or however long it was, because it's past his time, not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't getting back together with. If I was Charity, I wouldn't be getting back together with you either.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely not. So, anyway, Miguel's begging.
Mm-hmm.
Kay and Tabitha Tabitha calls Kay into the kitchen and tells her sorry. Kay comes into the kitchen, sees Tabitha looking into the bowl, and hears Miguel's voice. And she's like, that's Miguel. And Tabitha's like, yeah, it is. Come, you need to see this. And so they watch as Miguel begs for Charity to get back together with him. And Kay decides, oh, I need to go to the hospital and take care of this. Like, I need to keep them apart. So she goes to the hospital. She takes Simone with her. She and Simone go to the hospital. They find Charity and Miguel, but they hide like around the corner and listen. Yeah, and listen and watch from like afar. And Kay is like, I have to do something. They're going to get back together. Because it does seem like Charity is starting to soften. Charity is leaning she's leaning in the Miguel direction, right? And so Kay decides that she will, well, first she says she wants to try and use her powers. She obviously doesn't tell Simone because I think Tabitha very explicitly told her not to say anything to Simone about her having powers and being like in league with the dark side. She said otherwise the boys in the basement would kill Kay and her and Simone, right? If she told anybody. So Kay to herself thinks like maybe I can use my powers to blow my cousin the kingdom come, and so she like takes her hand and she tries to like magic something to happen, but nothing happens except the lights do flicker notably. And so she was able to do that with zero training, so that's nice. The lights do flicker but nothing happens. And then she decides to fake an emergency with her pregnancy. So she walks over to them like everything's fine. She's like, oh my God, Miguel, Charity, I was just going to the pharmacy and oh my God, my stomach. And she starts to have like this fake emergency. So that effectively puts a stop to the conversation that Miguel and Charity were having. Miguel walks her through the hospital to find Eve to give her an examination. Of course, Kay knows she was faking, so she's like, I'm fine, I don't need to be examined, everything is fine. But he insists, and then when they find Eve, she also insists. And so Eve takes her away, and then but not far. She's like in a little alcove. Like they can still see each other. Miguel can still see Kay can still see Miguel. Miguel starts talking to Charity again. He's like, see? He says, see, I can take care of Kay and the baby, and I can still be there for you, Charity. And so he goes back to begging this girl. And again, she's softening to him. Kay can see that this is happening. She's like, oh no, I'm going to lose Miguel, whatever. Eve is like, oh, I'm going to do a sonogram. Have you had a sonogram? And Kay's like, no, I haven't. And Eve's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to do the sonogram. It'll be the first time you get to see your baby. I'm sure Miguel would want to see this too. And so Kay is like, oh, you're right. Miguel would love to see this. Let me go get him. So she makes Miguel come and see the sonogram of the baby. They do a sonogram. And both Kay and Miguel are like enamored with it. They're looking at it. Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that's a little life. I can't believe we made that. Yada, yada, yada. Charity is watching this. And Simone asks her like if she's okay. And then Simone asks Charity.
Yeah, she asked her if she's okay, and I don't.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because my note.
No, it's okay.
It's missing a couple of words because sometimes I'm typing and I just
yeah.
So anyway, Simone asks Charity, who's watching Miguel and Kay see their baby for the first time and be excited about it. She asks her if she's okay. Charity doesn't answer, and we get a montage of Charity and Miguel's entire relationship. And then when that montage ends, she runs off saying there's no place in your life for me, Miguel. Not to him, to herself. Like she's looking at him saying there's no place in your life for me, Miguel. No place at all. And she runs off crying. And that's pretty much the end of that. You got anything to add?
Nope.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I think Miguel chases after her. And then that's it, I think.
I didn't write it in my notes, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure, but either way, that's kind of what it was leaning towards.
I mean, of course he's going to chase after her, right?
Yep. But other than that, that's about it. That's where I ended up too.
Yeah. Okay, good. So we're gonna move on to what do you want to do, Chad and Whitney or Shawise?
We could do Chad and Whitney because there's a little bit, but not too terribly much either.
Perfection. And let's talk about Chad and Whitney. You know what? This might be a short episode, and I'm okay with that.
And that's okay.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no. And as I told you, I'm telling our people listening and or watching that when I think of the Chad and Whitney storyline, I actually think of the episode. I think it's what 927 or whatever or is it 926
I
when
don't know.
well it's one of the two when Whitney comes in the
Mm-hmm.
bedroom and sees Simone laying on the bed having obviously faked an overdose of aspirin or whatever the hell it was. That is what I think of, the scene I think of when I think of the whole Whitney, Chad, Simone triangle debacle thing because I think I had been out of because I watched Passions intermittently. But when I did watch, I watched for long stretches, but then I jumped out for like maybe a few weeks or a month or so. Because, Passions time, either you get one day lasting 2 months or they go, in a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So that one stuck by me because it had been a while, and then I'm like, what is this shit? And then I'm like, oh god, she's faking, because I thought it was real for a hot second because I had seen
Um,
previous episodes. So for some reason, this one stuck with me.
yeah.
So that's
When
what
I
I always
think of
think
the
of.
Simone and Whitney and Chad triangle, this is the time period that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the time period that I remember the best.
Yeah, me too.
So let's talk about it, honey.
Yeah, no, no.
Simone, we pick up this week, and Simone is writing in her diary. She says,
Dear
"Dear
diary,
diary, yeah,
how I
dear
put how
diary,
90s, how very early 90s, 2000s coded was that?
yeah." Uh, it reminds me of Clarissa Explains It All. You remember that?
Yes. Mm.
She says, "Dear diary, I finally know how I'm going to break up Chad and Whitney." And basically, the plan is to use Whitney's guilt against her, right?
Yeah.
So, and not just her guilt, but like her love for Simone against her. She's like, I'm gonna use my sister's love for me against her. And that she cares and has so much concern for my well-being. I'm gonna be able to use that to my advantage. So, um, Chad and Whitney are sneaking kisses in Whitney's bedroom, and they discuss not wanting to hurt Simone. Simone is standing outside of the door listening to them, of course,
Mm-hmm.
listen to the conversation. Um, Chad tells Whitney that she needs to stop treating Simone like a baby, which I 100% agree. He
Yep.
says, "Your sister's grown up enough to handle the truth about us. We're just not giving her the chance to. What do you want to do? Keep lying to her, sneaking around behind her back? That's not right for anyone. You know that as well as I do." He goes on to say, "I'm not going to make you do something you don't want to do, but because Simone is your sister, so you have to make the choice. I'm just saying, if I were you, I'd tell her right now." And I agree. I can't disagree with this at all. My
Yeah.
only misgiving with Chad and all of this is that he has gone along with lying to Simone,
Yeah.
and pretending to be her girlfriend. I mean, pretending to be her boyfriend.
I would have
Spoiler
just
alert.
straight up told her if I was Chad. I would have told her a long time ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't be participating in this. And honestly, even if you take Whitney out of the equation, I wouldn't be participating in this because their dad has already tried to kill him like 3 or 4 times, right? Like he's
Yeah.
an angry man who has no problem using
Putting
violence
hands.
against
Yes.
you. And I imagine how pissed off he would be to find out that you have been lying and cheating on his daughter this whole time, right?
Exactly.
And lying to her. And yeah, no, it's just like it's self-preservation, right? For him to not go along with this.
Yeah.
And Whitney, frankly, should not have put him in this position knowing how dangerous her father is.
Yeah.
So, and also, she just shouldn't have been put him in this position because it's stupid and asinine and the worst plan. Quote plan. I can hardly even call it a plan. I
Yeah.
use the word plan very loosely when I talk about this because it's so dumb. Oh, so anyway, he doesn't want to keep doing this, and so Whitney says, "You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right." And she decides she's gonna go tell Simone the truth. She goes to Simone's bedroom. She she goes to Simone's bedroom. She goes inside and she finds her sister lying, quote, unconscious, right? Like it looks like she's like passed out. Next to an empty, my note is Whitney goes to tell Simone the truth, but finds her lying unconscious next to an empty bottle of aspirin. I had a bunch of question marks. It's like, why? I know Eve has plenty of drugs lying around this house. I know she does. But I get it. Once I understood what Simone was doing, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. So Whitney frantically wakes Simone up. She thinks that Simone has like taken a whole bottle of aspirin. And Simone says, "Oh, Whitney, I just took a few aspirin because I had a headache, and then I just took a few more because it wouldn't go away." Yeah, Whitney definitely is treating her sister like a baby. Like also like she's an imbecile and like an idiot, because who doesn't know you can't take more than a couple of aspirin at a time? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, especially daughters of a doctor.
And the way she treated this, she was like, when Simone was like, "Oh yeah, I just took a few and then I took a few more." The way Whitney was like, "Honey, sweetie, you just can't take a bunch of pills. You can't." She knows that. She fucking knows that. And if I was her sister, that would make my wheels spin. Like, what do you mean you took a few aspirin and then you took a few more? What were you trying to do? What? Right. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I would not be treating her with like this, like, kid glove. Like, "Oh, sweetie, like she's a 3-year-old who doesn't know better. Of course she knows better. And so the fact that she knows better would piss me off, right? Like, why would you be so careless?
Yeah, I'd be mad and be like, "What the fuck you trying to
do?" Yeah, why would you be so careless? But yes, Whitney infantilizes Simone. She does. And you know what? Because of that, and because of the way she has like decided to do this plan to keep Simone in the dark or whatever, I'm pretty firmly on Simone's side. It's interesting because when I watched this the first time through, of course I was like very anti-Simone, fully like team Whitney, team Chad and Whitney. And yeah, watching it back, Whitney's the villain.
100%.
Sorry. What do you say?
100%. Whitney is the villain in this storyline. Yeah. Normally I would say, in like say Teresa's, she's not. But in this, keeping her sister in the dark, jerking Chad around, yeah, she's a villain in this storyline.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you lied to me. You lied to me. You're lying to me. Actively lying to me. I love that man. I love that man. And instead of being honest and upfront with me, you're treating me like a baby. You're lying to me outright. And so I can't be mad at Simone for lying to Whitney. Whitney lied to her first.
Yeah.
Whitney lied to her first. She started this. You started it, to be honest. So I'm sorry, y'all. I am very firmly with Simone here.
I
don't agree with the tactics necessarily.
No. I don't agree with the tactics at all, but I'm on Team Simone.
But I also get it. I would do that. I would go about this differently, but I'm also not a teenage girl. Maybe I would have done things like this I wouldn't have. I would never have done this.
I wouldn't have done that either. No.
Listen, I was the girl that didn't even like listening to "The Boy Is Mine" by Brandy and Monica, because I knew it was wrong. I was like, what the hell is these two women fighting over a man for? What year was that song came out? Let me look it up, because
hang tight.
Yeah,
everybody knows he belongs to me.
The boy is mine. I couldn't have been more than 10 or 11 when that came out. 98, so I was 10.
Yeah, I was 11.
Yeah, it came out and I was 10, and at 10 years old, I knew that if he has been lying to both of you, why would y'all fight over him?
Yeah, why? Why would you destroy your relationship as a sister over some dude that's not most likely not permanent?
Yeah. So of course the Simone and Whitney's situation is very different from that song.
Good.
However, my point basically is that being in Simone's position, I never would have gone to these lengths. I never would, even as a teenage girl, because I
Yeah.
said, well, she is a teenage girl, she's doing stupid stuff, da da da. I was a teenage girl that would not have done that.
I could when my friend and a friend group tried to do a pick me thing, I did not.
Yeah.
So I am not picking a friend. I am picking a boy. You know.
No. Mm-mm. So, anyway, Whitney's infantilizing her sister, and Simone asks her. I mean, Whitney asks her, like, "Well, why were you so upset?" Because Simone says she was so upset she had a headache, and Simone says, "Well, um, I couldn't sleep after finding you and Chad together last night, and she's like, I know that you said that you just fell, and I know that y'all would never betray me like that, but hearing Liz's story just got me all shaken up. It shook me up. It is important to note that she has overheard Whitney talking about how scared she is that she and her sister will end up like Liz and her sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Simone is using that in this moment. So, Simone then says, Liz's story really blew me away. I mean, how could one sister do something so hurtful to another sister that she supposedly loved? If you ask me, it's the worst kind of betrayal there is. I guess that's why I couldn't get a wink of sleep last night. I kept thinking about how I would feel if you ever betrayed me the way Liz's sister betrayed her. I kept trying to picture what it would feel like if Chad ever left me for somebody else, especially for you. I mean, Chad is all I've ever had to myself, you know? And the idea of losing him and you, I mean, that would just be unbearable. I mean, I know boyfriends come and go, but I only have one sister, and I don't want to end up like Liz, alone and bitter. I guess that's why I have this splitting headache. Maybe I should try one of Mom's painkillers. Oh God. She's really laying it on thick.
That's what I was gonna say. She was totally laying it on thick.
She lays it on so thick, but you know what? I can't be mad at her about it.
No.
Whitney, like I said, Whitney lied first and she lied longer.
Mm-hmm.
She's been lying at this point for years. For years.
And
they haven't been doing this plan for years, but she's been going back and forth with Chad for years.
And it's just, if I was Chad, I wouldn't put up with it. If I was Simone, I wouldn't put up with it either.
And they were just like keeping their relationship a secret for a long time and just keeping Simone in the dark. But now they're like actively deceiving her, right? Mm-hmm. Like together, they have Chad pretending to be her actual boyfriend. So I'm going to torment you. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to torment you. Period. I don't know. I get it. I'll say it again. I get it. I
do too. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I know we used to talk about Simone being so delusional, but you know what? Yeah. I'm glad she knows what's going on, because that was frustrating how delusional she was about Chad. And now it's not that she's necessarily delusional. She's just devious.
Yeah, she knows. So she's not delusional anymore.
Yeah.
She's just being, now it went from being delulu to being angry, which I do not blame her for in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and scheming and plotting. Yeah. So
no, Whitney kind of deserves it.
Whitney kind of deserves it. Yeah. Whitney kind of deserves it. So Whitney is distraught by this, right? She pulls Simone into a very deep, loving, passionate hug, and she's like, that'll never happen to us, never. Simone on the other side of Whitney's shoulder, you know, hugging her sister, smiles so big, so brightly, so widely. I loved it. I was like, yeah, because she's done it. She knows it. She knows she's
put that wedge
successfully
in there.
played on Whitney's emotions. Yeah. And so Whitney goes back to tell Chad that she did not tell Simone the truth. And he tells her that he thinks she's overreacting, and because she tells him what the scene she encountered, thinking that her sister had overdosed and why she had taken all those pills and blah blah blah, right? Chad is like, I think you're overreacting about this. It was just a few pills, aspirins, like, which agreed. It was just some aspirin. She's fine. But anyway, he says, I think you're overreacting. She tells him, I think we should take a break. She's like, I think that we should take a break. She goes on to say, it's not that I want to take a break. It's just that I don't really see any other choice for us right now. And it won't be long. She says this won't take long. Like, they're going to take a short break. But like, what's going to change, girl? And like, you have to be the change you want to see in the world. Like, you have to do it. You have to do something other than hiding it from Simone constantly. You have to do something else. Otherwise, you're either together or not together, right? And I don't know. She says it won't be for long, just long enough for things to cool down with her and for us to figure out what we're going to do next. How about tell the fucking truth, Whitney? What do you mean?
Yeah.
And then she says, and in the meantime, I won't have to be sneaking around behind her back, risking breaking her heart. Right now, Simone's needs come first. And Simone is listening outside the door, of course, as one does when they have their scheme is in play and they're trying to see how it works out. So she's listening at the door. She hears this and she's like, great, it worked. Yes, I got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So, Whitney then goes over to find Teresa, brings Teresa up on what happened. We already kind of talked about that. But yeah, that's where we are. Chad and Whitney have broken up. Again. I don't care. I'm sorry.
No, I don't.
I don't care.
Chad and Whitney is probably one of my least favorite relationships of the show. Partly because of all this back and forth bullshit.
I like Chad. My thing is, I like Chad and Whitney. I like Chad and Whitney together. What I dislike about their relationship is, yes, this whole thing with Simone, but also the fact that they, like, in the show at this point, they're siblings, and that goes on for some time.
Yeah, it does.
They don't change that for years.
No.
I mean, we really take this to depths. We take it to some really weird places. And
yes, they do.
Yeah. And so that's what I dislike about it.
That too.
Because at a certain point, they just decide to be incestuous, if I remember correctly.
Again, in a different form.
Because at first they didn't know, right?
Yeah.
And then they found out, and it becomes like a whole, if I remember correctly, I could be
Whitney doesn't take it well. Whitney does not take it well.
It becomes a big thing, but then eventually Whitney's like, it was Chad. I think Chad, if I could be wrong about this, but I think Chad was like, we were already doing it before.
Yes, yeah. And then Chad hooks up with
yeah.
That's still incestuous. Like, holy
crap. The whole thing. Yeah, why they make whatever.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna move on from this. But yeah, Chad and Whitney, I like them. I wish that they
they did it a whole different thing, because they are a cute couple. Don't get me wrong. I think they're cute, but they're with this on again, off again, this and this and
yeah.
They already had one avenue of, I think, or something, but they need to just stay out of the family tree.
Yeah, yeah. Find somebody else to fuck.
You're not in Alabama. Cut it out. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No
So,
offense to anybody in Alabama. I'm just saying.
yeah.
Just
No
picking a
offense.
place.
No offense.
No offense. Nope.
That's it. That's it for Chat and Whitney. You got anything to add before we move
Nope.
on to I guess Shawise? We're making great time.
Yeah, and that's most of my notes is for Shawise.
Maria's gonna be mad. This
And
episode's
Beth.
gonna be short. It's gonna be quite short. Cause well, Shawise might take us some time, but
Well, yeah.
I don't think it'll take a full hour to get through.
No, I don't think so.
So sorry,
I
Maria.
mean, that's okay. I mean,
Yeah, yes. Listen, the episodes used to be like 40 minutes.
yeah, I know.
Episodes are
So hey,
have
I'm
gotten
okay
longer
that
and
they're a
longer.
little longer, you know, exactly, but
Yeah, they've gotten longer and longer. If
yeah.
honestly, if I had my way, the episodes would be about an hour long, maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe someday we'll get it down to an hour long.
Yeah. And I guess it is my show, so I guess I should have my way. But I do.
Yeah.
It happens organically. It got longer very organically. It's not
It does,
like
we enjoy our yapping and our what do you call them, the tangents and side streets and everything. We enjoy it.
We enjoy. It's fun, but
Yes.
child, it takes up so much of my weekend.
I know. I feel bad. Now, because we are moving on to Shawise, I am saying for those who are not watching or going to be watching, like someone like me who listens to the podcast only, I am repping my homemade Fancy and Louise shirt.
We love.
So that should tell you how I feel about Shawise.
We love repping Fancy and Louise. Good for you. You know what? Sheridan does get on my nerves.
Yeah, I mean, I liked him for a time, but then when Fancy came in and kind of just made a new breath of air to the whole thing, like,
yeah, I think when she shows up, is like we needed something to infuse something into that storyline because Shawise, Sheridan and Louise back and forth for years at this point. Like, yeah, it's exhausting.
It very much is. But on that note, where do we?
On that note, we're picking up with I'm gonna pick up with Hank having a conversation with
okay, because I wasn't sure which. Yeah. Okay. So Hank and Louise.
We're gonna pick up with Hank and Louise at the gym, I guess, or the youth center. I'm not sure where they are, but they're somewhere where there's a gym. Child, honey, I have a clip for y'all this week. So, Hank, Lord Jesus. Also, I'm pretty sure it was Hannah that said it's funnier to watch this show thinking that Hank is in love with Louise.
Oh yeah.
And when you watch with that framework, it's so good. As a matter of fact, I actually I don't know, I think I did it last week. They were like playing basketball together. Oh, I might have done it this week. No, I did it last week. Sorry. They were playing basketball together and I put a little made a little heated rivalry for them. Because it looks very gay, but in all the ways I like, of them playing basketball shirtless and Hank giving longing eyes to Louise and
then this scene, I was like,
and the song that they use in Heated Rivalry, one of the songs is all the things she said, running through my head, and this is not enough. That portion of it every time like hits me, and so I feel like
love that song. So
I feel like that's Hank. That's like Hank's like in his head, like this is not enough. This is not enough. And like so we pick up this weekend, he is pressuring Louise to forget about Sheridan and marry Beth, basically. But in my head canon, he's doing that because if I can't have you, if we can't be in love together, then you can't be in love with somebody else. Like you have to be married to Beth, because I know that you don't love her passionately. And so as long as you're unhappy and I'm unhappy too, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
As long as you're unhappy, good.
Yeah. I'm unhappy, so you have to be unhappy too. So yeah, he is insisting upon Luis making a life with Beth. I'm so sick of Hank pushing Beth onto Luis. He did it
Yeah.
when Sheridan died too, and I'm just
I feel bad for Beth. I mean, it's like, quit doing that to her.
yes,
You know?
yes,
She deserves better.
yeah. Like if you like her so much, Hank, you fucking marry her.
Yeah, you know, when Antonio was all like, "Oh, but Beth is this and this and this," and I almost, why don't you fucking marry her then?
Then you fucking marry her. Luis tells him though that he'll just be there for Sheridan. He'll be happy to just be there for Sheridan because he can't just make his love for Sheridan go away. He also says, I do care about Beth, but like I told you, I don't want to be just a husband and only half there for her. She deserves better than that. So do I. I love Sheridan. The only thing that's going to separate us is death. And Hank says, Luis, Sheridan told you she's as good as dead to you because you two can't be together. And Luis says, but Sheridan is alive and well. I love her with all my heart. Yeah, I hate this whole like, well, she's as good as dead to you. No, she's not. Like he thought she was really dead. Right? Like
Yeah.
we have to think about
Why
when
would
they're
you say
talking
that
like
to
that.
him?
Yeah, we have to think about Luis's mindset using that framework of like Sheridan was dead to him more than once actually, but Sheridan was dead to him, right? This most recent time,
Mm-hmm.
truly dead. They had a funeral. He saw her like mangled body. He thought she was gone, 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 right?
Yep.
For Luis, the only end for them is death, right? Like the only way that he could stop having not even stop long because he will still long for her, but the only way he could be basically okay with being with somebody else is basically if Sheridan was dead. But as long as Sheridan is
Mm-hmm.
alive and breathing in this world, that's where his heart is. That's where
But
he's
he
at.
would still long for Sheridan, even if she's dead.
Yeah, even in death, he would still long for her. But I think he would. We know that he would go on and get on with his life and like marry somebody else and have kids because there is no possibility of Sheridan coming back if she was really dead. Right? That's what
Mm-hmm.
we understand that that's what Luis would do if she was dead. So, but saying like, well, she's as good as dead. No, she's not. There's a big difference between being dead and being married to my brother. They're two. She's not good as dead.
Mm-hmm.
All we need is a piece of paper, and she will not be married to him anymore.
Right.
I can't revive her. I'm not Jesus. There's like, if she was dead, there would be no hope. She's still
Yeah.
alive.
And speaking of piece of paper, I was thinking about this. You know how they keep saying you can't, in Passion's lore, you can't get an annulment if one person's still in love with the other. I'm like, even if you try to get an annulment or whatever from or divorce from Antonio, it wouldn't fly because Antonio forever loves Sheridan.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll see where this goes. I don't know. I shudder to think. I shudder to think how they're gonna stretch this whole thing now that Antonio's woken up.
I know.
I don't remember. I
No,
don't know
I
how
don't
this
either.
works out.
I know at one point he he's gone, and then there's somebody, and it's just like, what?
I remember at one point Luis um kidnaps Sheridan. I remember that. Um
I don't remember that part.
yeah, I remember that. I remember I
It,
well anyway, he kidnapped Sheridan, but she went willingly basically.
yeah,
Um anyway, where was I with this? Hank and Luis.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
heading.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the annulment thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know how they're gonna do this, how they're gonna roll it, or how they're gonna keep Sheridan married to Antonio. But I know they're gonna keep her trapped in that marriage. I know they are.
yeah, I know.
And I don't know how, but I know that they are gonna do it, and I'm already
Right.
so annoyed by it.
Same.
Because yeah, and Sheridan doesn't care if they get an annulment or a divorce. I don't think.
No, I don't think she cares.
Only Grace cares about that. Grace is the only one who cares that she needs to get her marriage with David annulled. It cannot be a divorce, because she wouldn't be able to get married to Sam in the church or whatever. So, anyway, Louise, is intent on sticking beside Sheridan no matter what, just being there for her, even if they can't be together romantically. And then Hank and Louise take a shower together, and I have this clip. It's very much you see those things that say like, I watch XYZ for the plot, and then it'll be like the plot. Yeah, and so that's what I might have put this on the TikTok. If I haven't, I'm gonna do it again. I am gonna do it because this is a very good clip for I watch Passions for the plot. So I think this clip in fact is called The Plot. Let me find it because it was quite good. Because listen, say what you want to say about Hank, he is hot.
They're gorgeous dudes. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
and they're shirtless, so it's always a good time.
He is hot. And I don't even know if they talk in this.
I think they talk a little bit, and then Louise fantasizes about Sheridan, and it's really fucking awkward. Because why would you be naked in a shower with another dude in your fantasy?
Honey, I please, I don't find it awkward. I said that is sexy as
hell.
The
fact that he's fantasizing about Sheridan, and
I loved it. Can you see this? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay.
All right, let's play it.
I'm not allowed to be worried about my best friend.
Well, I appreciate it, but it's my call.
Well, I just want to make sure it's a good one, the right one.
Trust me.
Sorry, can't do that. You're too emotional to think logically.
Love isn't about logic, Hank. It gives life meaning.
I know. You love Sheridan. Love her beyond all reason. But what about her? She's made it pretty clear she's sticking by Antonio in all this. So what now?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. You're gonna quit on life. Take a seat on the sidelines.
Look, Hank, call it whatever you want.
Never have a wife, children. Never have a meaningful relationship. No romance.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna marry another woman, that I do know. My life doesn't have meaning without Sheridan in it.
Yeah. So, again, that was an unnecessary, as far as the conversation they were having, it's the same conversation they've been having. But I liked the visuals. So if you were watching, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed. That was all about the visuals for me.
Yeah.
God, they look so good
in the shower.
Oh, they look so good. Like I told you earlier, like, unfortunately for me, I am sexually attracted to men, and unfortunately, but yeah, I love to see it.
The guy who plays Louise's name, Galen or something like that. He's a studly motherfucker. Oh my God.
He's fine as hell.
Hell yeah.
If the only thing that could have made that scene better is if Sam was in there.
There you go.
I need a scene of Sam and Louise showering together. That's what I need.
Oh, see, I don't know if we'll get that, but I'm like, you'll get another shirtless scene with Sam at some point. I know that.
I mean, because like, don't they have showers at the police station? I feel like there's a way they could make that happen for us. Could have made that happen for us. So. All right, let's keep talking about what's going on. Hank keeps pushing Beth on to Louise, and Louise keeps saying no. He says he doesn't want to lead her on. I can't be with her if my heart is with someone else. And then they decide to go to the hospital to see if Antonio's status has changed at all, right? And so they go to the hospital, and a nurse tells Louise, it could be very helpful and beneficial for family members to talk to the patient. And Luis is like, well, I already talked to him. I already talked to him once. How much fucking talking do I have to do to this vegetable? No, he was like, well, I already talked to him. She's like, no, you should do it more. The more you do it, the better. And so he basically says all the same things he said to him before about like basically coming clean about him and Sheridan kind of thing. And that, but this portion of his little speech to him was so funny to me. So he says to Antonio at one point, Sheridan's miserable and I'm miserable, and I can't help but think that you're miserable trapped in that lifeless body. Antonio, I need you to listen to me this time. I need you to listen to what I'm saying. Just get better. Just get better and come back to us. I'm not being selfish here. I want you to have a life, the life that you've always dreamed of. If you can, just give us a sign. If you're trying or fighting, because I think time is running out. That's not the part that I thought was funny. Did I not pull that portion? There was one part where he basically said to him or maybe he said it last week. Maybe that's when he said it. He basically said either wake up or die. I think maybe he said it last week. I wish he said it again this week. It was so good. Because he's like, you need to either wake up or you need to fucking die because we're all miserable, basically, is what he says. Yeah. So, meanwhile, we have to talk about Sheridan and Beth.
Oh, Beth.
Sheridan is over at Beth's house. She came back. So remember last week she came over to talk to Beth about Louise because it was dumb. It was stupid. But she had come over to talk to Beth about Louise because she had just told Louise to move on with his life and whatever. Beth was going to try and kill her, but she didn't get the chance. And so Sheridan left, but she came right back because she left her keys. And when she comes back in, she encounters Edna, Mrs. Wallace, Beth's mom. Mm-hmm. And Edna tells her flat out, straight up, and she's frantic. She tells her, my daughter, she is not the sweet, innocent thing. She is not the sweet, innocent thing that you think she is. She is evil and she is horrible. She is trying to tear you and Luis apart. She is trying to kill you. I can't do a good Edna voice like Eric can, but
that's pretty good.
But yeah, Sheridan's like, what? What are you talking about? Beth's trying to kill me? And Edna says, yes, run, Sheridan, run. You gotta get out of here. Get out while you can. And so Edna tells Edna tells Sheridan that Beth is evil and wicked and she's been after Luis for years. And she tells her when it looked like Luis was not going to be able to get you out of his heart, that is when Beth decided to kill you. That's what she was trying to do when the nurse came back earlier and interrupted their conversation. So she tells her Beth also tried to kill her, has threatened to kill her if she said anything. So I have clips, of course. Beth is trying to kill me. Beth wants to kill you, Sheridan.
Bethy.
Oh, Bethy. I can't do. Eric does it so well.
I know he does it so good, and Tabitha too.
Eric is a thespian, is he not? He does have his doctorate in the theater, so of course he should be much better than us. Than me, All right, let's see. We're doing clip. Beth wants to kill you, Sheridan.
Beth is trying to kill me?
Yes. Yes, it's all true. It is. She's even trying to kill me. Her own mother. She's evil. She is wicked. Look, ever since you've come back to town, she has been trying to trick and manipulate you and Luis to keep you apart. She's had her cap set on Luis for years.
The nurse said that you told her that.
Yes, it's true. All of it is true. It is, I swear to you. And when it looked like Luis was not going to be able to get you out of his heart. That is why Beth decided to kill you. That's what she was trying to do. When the nurse came back, thank God, the nurse came back. And Sheridan, I wanted to help you. I truly did. See, but Beth threatened me. She said if I breathed a word to you, she was going to kill me too. And I was scared, honey. I'm sorry. I was scared, and it made my heart stop. But you have got to be scared. You have to. So you get away from here. You get away from here as fast as you can. And don't you ever come back, honey. Don't you ever come back. Please.
Sheridan, what are you doing back here?
You bitch!
What is wrong with you? Your mother told me what you're up to. Mother? Trying to break up Luis and me. Planning on killing me. What? And not only that, but you kill her too. Your own mother.
Oh, I don't believe I'm hearing this.
You know what, Beth? I trusted you. I listened to you. I took your advice. I believed you when you said the best thing would be for me to push Luis away so that he could start his own life.
No, listen.
When all you were doing was setting it up so that you could have him for yourself. Mother!
It's true. Every word of it. Sheridan, you won't leave me alone with her now, will you, please?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The nurse and I are going to stay with you until the police come.
The police? No.
Here's the phone.
No, this is all a lie. Nothing Mother told you is true. She's delusional.
Well, she seems pretty clear-headed to me.
No, she had a stroke and oxygen loss to the brain after the heart attack, and the medication is making her mentally unstable.
I am not. My brain is just fine, Bethy. Bethy, it's you. You're the one who is mentally unstable. Big time! See? Look at her.
Look at the crazy eyes.
See what I mean? She wants to kill me. Do you see that? Do you see it?
Okay. So, couple of things here, right? Beth has like lost it, right? And we know that she's crazy. I will say there's something kind of satisfying. I don't know what this says about me. There's something so satisfying about, or like there's a poetic justice to this role reversal between Beth and Edna, where we saw Beth's backstory and how her mom didn't protect her and that she was like being victimized, but she also had no recourse because she was a child.
Yeah.
And had to rely on her caretaker of her mother, right? Who was not taking care of her. And now it's kind of the roles have reversed where Edna is the helpless one. Edna is the one who has to rely on her caretaker in Beth, and how that power has shifted and how it changed the dynamic between the two of them. And I don't know. I'm not saying it's right because it's not right. And Beth gets worse and worse. There will come a time where I won't even be close to being able to defend Beth at all. In these episodes, I still have a little bit of like, serves you right, Edna.
No, for real, I'm with you on that. For right now, in this bit of time, yeah, I'm rooting for Beth.
Yeah, in this moment, I can't say I'm rooting for Beth because I don't want her to kill Sheridan. Like that's
no, I don't want Sheridan to die, but
I don't want her to kill her mom either. But I don't mind her terrorizing her mom a little bit. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like
I don't mind that she's terrorizing her mama a little bit.
She had it coming.
She had it coming. I ain't sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, Edna puts on a great. She's very convincing, right? And so, yeah. I don't know that I would, if I was Sheridan, be so quick to dismiss what has been said, especially because Sheridan kind of started putting the dots together, and she said as much, right? She was like, oh my gosh, that's why you were trying to push me to push Luis away. That's why, right? Like, she was connecting the dots. And if the things align with what Edna is saying, if what Beth has been saying and doing with you, because the truth is, Beth has been showing her nastier side to Sheridan for a while now, for a few, for a few days. Well, it's been a day. It's been a day. Passions did something this week that really irritated me, where they had Teresa say something about I threw Ivy out a few days ago. Some days ago I threw Ivy out, but it's like, no, you threw Ivy out last night, not a few days ago.
Yeah,
but that's how they are trying to move us forward in the timeline. And so they also Antonio at one point is like, oh man, y'all didn't get married though. Y'all have talking to Beth and Luis is like, y'all never got married the whole time I've been out, as if he's been in a coma for a long time. And he has
I wrote that down too. It's like, how long has it been? And then I'm like, RE, past the timeline, RE never makes sense half the time.
It may have been 2 days.
Maximum.
Maybe it was 2 days. But I don't think it was.
But they made it seem like it was weeks or longer with that statement from Antonio.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think, because Sheridan and Antonio were on their honeymoon, and then he had his collapse, and then they went to the hospital the night of their wedding, right? And then time is running out. Eve made such a big deal about how fast it needed to be administered to him, that drug. And so they gave him that drug, and then we went into the next day, because she gave him that drug that night, right? It wasn't like, because again, time was of the essence. And then we have now gone into like the next day. So, but Passions is telling me it's been a long time. So fine.
Yeah. So
whatever. But it hasn't. Anyway, Sheridan. Yeah, she was connecting the dots. So I wish she had kind of like, even if she decided, you know what, I'm going to let it go for right now, but to kind of get away from Beth for her own health and safety, and then kind of circle back and do a little more investigation about it, I would have been appreciated. But no, what happens is that nosy ass nurse comes in and corroborates Beth's story about the stroke and the medicine, and that Edna is delusional, even though this lady has no reason not to believe Edna. You know what I mean? That nurse has no real reason not to believe that Beth is abusive to Edna, besides the fact that Beth said that she isn't, and that her mother is just talking crazy and she lost oxygen to her brain. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's put on such a, I don't know, she's very convincing. So Beth explains, that my mother's in a delusional state because of her stroke and her heart attacks and the medication and everything. The nurse corroborates this. Sheridan is confused. She says, you were the one who told me in the first place that Beth was determined to keep me away from Luis, because they had a very quick exchange at one point before all of this, Sheridan and the nurse, that Sheridan was confused about. But the nurse clarifies, she says that she was just joking. Edna becomes increasingly more agitated and desperate to be believed. And she says that Beth is carrying around a syringe that she was going to use to try to kill Sheridan. And she says it's in her pockets. And Sheridan says, okay, well, Beth, can you just make this easy? Just turn out your pockets and we'll see, if your mother is hallucinating or not, right? Beth turns out her pockets. Nothing's in her pockets, right? Because of course, nothing's in her pockets. Turns out her pockets, there's nothing in her pockets. Proving, that was the proof enough that Edna is delusional. And then Edna gets more and more agitated. Beth, and starts hurling insults at Beth, calling her an evil girl, a murderer, all of this. And the horrible nurse says, Mrs. Wallace, you really shouldn't say such awful things about your daughter. She keeps you here with her. She makes sure you're well taken care of. Most young people in her position would have put you in a nursing home a long time ago. Now, don't forget that. I understand that the idea of like institutions and being institutionalized, a nursing home or sent to any kind of like home, there's like a stigma around it, and that there's like this thought that you're going to get mistreated or what have you, right?
Yep.
However, I will say, if I were Edna, I might take my chances at a nursing home.
You might be treated better at a nursing home than you are with Beth.
Yeah, my granny was in a nursing home, and you know, I think most nursing homes, of course, abuse happens. Of course, horrible things happen. But I think for the most part, if you find a reputable one, you know, they're gonna get better care than you can give them, right?
Because that's unfortunately the big thing right there is that, you know, the care might be too much.
Yeah, I mean, not only is the care might be too much, but it also could be that you are not qualified, right?
Oh, right,
what
exactly.
business does Beth have giving injectables, right? Like,
yeah, like my aunt right now, she's taking care of my uncle, doing things nurses should be doing. And it's like, you know, thank God that my aunt's a quick study and her daughter is a nurse, you know, to, you know, make sure everything's, you know, good. But, you know, it could be too much, and he should, not a nursing home per se, but, you know, like a rehab place.
Yeah.
You know, but like, it's like, she should not be giving injections, truly. She's had no training.
Yeah, and it's not, because, you know, my mom she has multiple sclerosis, and she used to take this injectable medicine, and she had to give it to herself, but it came in a prepackaged like syringe with a prepackaged like amount. All she had to do was like not all she had, it was like tough that she had to like stick herself, but all she had to do was like take the little cap off and stick herself. Like, it was always you know, sterile, everything. The dose was exact to the amount that it needed to be, because that's what you have to do. This lady, Beth, was like pulling the drug from the vial herself. I was like, what business does she have doing that? You know what I mean? Like, she filled the whole syringe up because it was enough to kill Sheridan and Edna, is what she said. I was like, she shouldn't even have access to that.
No, she should not. And I do have that in there, along with that needle should be capped, or Beth is accidentally going to stick herself.
Herself, yeah. So let's see. The nurse says that Edna should be grateful because Beth could have put her in a home a long time ago. Then Beth says, I think it's time for a nap, Mother. It's time for a nap, Mother. And she goes against her wheelchair. She wheels Edna out of there with the quickness. And she whispers in Edna's ear as she wheels her off, you better say your prayers tonight because you are a dead woman. Whoo! It was chilling. Beth is getting scarier and scarier. Scarier and scarier. Until we get to the very scary stuff she does later today in these episodes. So she wheels Edna back into her room, and then she pulls out that syringe, and it was in her bosom. So mystery solved. Because I was like, yeah, what did she do with that?
I did wonder where she put it to.
Yeah, my assumption, I thought she just put it down somewhere because Beth had been off away. It's not like she had the syringe, she hid it in her pocket, we saw her hide it in the pocket, and then nobody moved or anything. She had gone to a different room. So I figured she put it back down somewhere, and that's why it wasn't in her pockets. But she had it on her. She just had it in her bosom, her ample bosom. And so she pulls it out, and she threatens her mom with it. She tells her, you lost, you old crone, so shut up before I lose my temper and kill you on the spot. She's losing it. And then she goes back and talks to Sheridan. Sheridan apologizes for slapping Beth. She says, you know, your mother was very convincing. But then she does question Beth a little bit further because I think she's unsettled by all of this, you know? Because Sheridan is not a dumb woman. They make her dumb, but she's not stupid, you know? And so she questions a little bit further on this. And she says, what she was saying did have a certain ring of truth to it. Talking about Edna, she says what she was saying did have a certain ring of truth to it. What did you mean when you said you wanted me further out of the picture than I am already? I mean, if you weren't talking about killing me, well, what did you mean? And Beth tells her, she's like, oh, I just meant that you should move out of Harmony so that you won't be in Luis's face all the time. It would just be easier for everyone if you just got out of Harmony and took Antonio with you. Here's my thing about that, because Sheridan considers this. She hears this. She thinks to herself, yeah, maybe that would be the best thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take Antonio out of Harmony. What about Pilar? Right? Like, you know, Pilar just got her son back. She made a whole big deal, a whole big stink about him getting this drug. And you're going to take him out of Harmony. And this is before Antonio wakes up. So she's considering taking Antonio out of Harmony while he's still in his coma. Now, what about Pilar? What about the rest of his family?
Mm-hmm.
They would, I'm sure, would want easier access to him. So anyway, Beth tells her she needs to take him out of Harmony. Go anywhere. She's like, you're always talking about Paris. Why don't you take him back there? Take him anywhere. You could go to Switzerland or wherever. And then they talk about how Antonio is never going to come out of his coma, right? And then Luis calls and tells Sheridan Antonio is waking up. And so he says, Sheridan, you're not going to believe this. It's a miracle. Antonio's coming out of his coma. He just moved his hand. He's coming back to us. Sheridan is overjoyed at this news. Beth tells her, well, don't get your hopes up. And then they both head to the hospital because Beth, yeah, of course, this goes against what Beth wants to happen, right?
Yep.
And so Luis is with Antonio. He's trying to get him to wake up. Pilar comes in. He tells Pilar he saw his hand move. And then Pilar's very excited. She goes and grabs his Antonio's hand and says, like, if you can hear me, please respond. And he does, like, squeeze her hand. He does what seems like he's responding. Sheridan and Luis are elated, so excited about this. Beth is standing around fuming. She's so upset. I mean, I don't know how anybody's not noticing it. But I guess Antonio is coming out of a coma, so and nobody thinks about Beth. Nobody ever thinks about Beth. She's, they don't care about her at all. So
like, all their attention is that way, and nobody's paying attention to Beth.
Yeah, but she is, honey. If steam could have been rising up off of her head, it would have been.
Absolutely.
So then the doctor comes in, not Eve, the other one. And he tells them not to get their hopes up too high. He says, when the muscles have been inactive for an unusually long time, which he has not been in that coma for that long. But he says, when the muscles have been inactive for an unusually long time, they can sometimes have involuntary spasms, which because we're so desperate for signs of progress, we take to be something more significant. And then he tells them that he needs to do a full examination. But until Antonio regains consciousness or speaks, there's no reason to believe that he's making a recovery. Luis is like, I ain't hearing this. He's very optimistic. He's like, no, my brother's waking up. I know it. Me and Sheridan are going to be together. And then she tells him that she was considering leaving Harmony, saying that it felt like it was the only fair thing for everyone. And he asks where she got an idea like that from, and tells her to forget it. Forget about it. You're not going anywhere. And he says, we're going to make it through this obstacle just like we've made it through all the other obstacles. We're going to be together. And everyone gathers around Antonio. Oh. He feels good as no. They're all out. Sorry. I skipped a note. So they're gonna get through this together. They're all standing outside of Antonio's room when the doctor comes and they're like, well, what is it, doc? What is it, doc? Like, is Antonio gonna make a recovery or not? Is he gonna be okay? And the doctor's like, I don't think that's for me to say. And I think Luis is like, well, if it's not for you to say, then for who? And then Antonio's voice comes billowing out of the room and he says, well, why don't you come in here and ask me? It's like, oh, bro. Oh, bro. This guy stinks. God, I can't stand him. Even when he's just woken up, I'm just like, ugh.
And then almost immediately he's like, hang on, where's it? His first words are like, oh, my beautiful wife. And literally, eye roll, exact. And I literally put eye roll. I was like, come on now.
Honey, I was so disgusted by him.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Fantasia's right. Maybe we are too hard on him, but I can't stand him.
Really, I mean, seriously, like, that's all you care about. Like, say, Mom, I missed you, or brother, just right on Sheridan.
They all go in his room happily and gather around him. He says he feels good as new. And like you said, he talks about his beautiful wife. And then Hank says, oh, you said that like you can see. Can you see? And he says, did you think I was going to stay blind after I got married to the most beautiful woman in the world? Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Oh, man. My hate for him is visceral.
Yeah, mine too.
And so he not only is he awake, but he can see again. He is not blind. I can see clearly now. The sickness is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way, except for my brother Luis. I can't see that at all. So yeah, I wrote he's been awake for less than a minute and I wish Eve would come and sedate him and put him to sleep again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Girl, come sedate him, put him down, put him back to sleep.
You want a sedative or something to quiet your nerves?
Yes. Okay, so Antonio says that he heard Luis and Sheridan while he was asleep. He was like, I heard you, and I heard you talking. And then he says, you were talking about love. You were declaring that your love would never die. Of course, this was a red herring. They made it seem like he heard all, because Luis, like, and Sheridan both kind of bared their souls to him, but really Luis a lot, Sheridan and I were together before you. He told the whole thing, right? And so they make it seem like he heard that, but he didn't. He thinks that Luis was talking about Beth. I don't know. I don't know. He says it was only a few snippets here and there, but it was enough for me to hear how much you both love me. Ooh. How much you both love me. And Luis, I remember you professing your love for Beth to me. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. I was so mad. I'm still mad. I remember you professing your love for Beth for me. He did not once say anything about Beth. He can't even wake up right. He can't die right. He can't wake up right. He can't talk right. He can't think right. He just ain't right. That boy ain't right. That boy ain't right. He says, I remember you professing your love for Beth to me. But what really brought me through was Sheridan telling me how much she loves me. It was like when she was telling me, it was like she loved me more than she ever had before. That's not what happened. She wanted you to wake up so she could tell you the truth. And so you wouldn't die, and so it wouldn't be on her guilty conscience. That's it. She was feeling very guilty. I hate this.
I know.
I'm sorry. I hate this.
I know.
Antonio then asks Luis, he's like, hey, Luis, Can you take Sheridan back to the cottage? Like, I know she hasn't gotten any rest. She's been in the hospital. And can you stay the night with her just to make sure that she's okay? So he sends Luis off with his wife to you know. He also finds out that Beth and Luis aren't married. And then Luis has a short conversation with Beth. So Luis says to Beth, and he's very excited. He's so happy. He's like, now that he's recovered, Sheridan and I can tell him the truth about our relationship without the fear that it's going to kill him. Oh, that sentence is hilarious. Now she can get a divorce or an annulment and marry me. And Beth is like, I know. I was like, why are you telling Beth this? Leave Beth alone.
Oh, and I have in here, I'm like, he goes to, he says to Beth at one point, out loud, mind you, I'm glad we never said our vows. This makes things easier.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the actual fuck?
They really treat her like shit.
I'm like, how dare you say that to her like that? Like, if my partner, said something like that to me, I would be devastated.
Yeah.
You know, like, even if it was somebody I perceived was like, because they have a weird relationship. I don't even know how to qualify their relationship right now, Beth and Luis.
Yeah.
But like, holy shit. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, my thing is they really do treat Beth like shit, but Beth also allows it, right?
Yeah, which
that's the problem. She has let herself be rolled out to be a doormat, and instead of standing up for herself and just having some self-respect, and we've talked at length about why she is so attached to Luis. I don't have to relitigate that. But we have to lay some culpability at her feet for this, right? Because ultimately you are allowing them to treat you like garbage. Speak up for yourself. And not for nothing, she is always lying and putting on a show and pretending like she's okay with everything when she is not. Now, I do believe that they should be, particularly Luis, should be more sensitive when it comes to Beth and the things that he says to her, knowing she has poured her heart out to him over and over and over and over again, knowing how that lady feels about you, regardless of how strong you think she is and how great you think she is. You should have the common sense and the common decency to hold some things back.
Yep.
And not say certain things because it's just rude, flat out, and mean
and cruel.
Yeah. And so, the fact that he goes over to Beth and starts telling her all of this, and I'm glad we didn't do our vows. It will just make things a lot harder, and or this makes it easy. That makes it easier. And then he says to her, "I think you're so wonderful. You'll always be an incredible friend to me. Okay, get out of here, Louise." But again, Beth just accepting it. I can't. I'm sorry, girl. Come on. But this girl, honey, she's snapped. She's about to snap.
And I'm sorry, but in a way, who can blame her?
Not me. It's crazy, but on the one hand, she needs to stand up and not and she shouldn't have been accepting the bare minimum from Luis anyway, right?
Exactly.
On the other hand, he did jerk her around a lot, and honestly, I myself just maybe 2 weeks ago got very angry with Luis because of the conversation he was having with Beth, wherein he was telling her, "I'm not going to abandon you. I'm gonna be I'll move into your house if that helps."
Yeah, what the fuck happened to that?
What the fuck happened to that? Because Sheridan has been alive. She's been right there. And now the circumstance has changed, yes, but why would you say that's why I said, why would you say that to her? Why would you even say that to her? So anyway, Luis and Sheridan go back to the cottage together, happy as clams, celebrating. Luis says, we don't have to worry about the shock killing Antonio anymore. We can get married. The lines in this are so funny to me. We don't have to worry about the shock killing Antonio anymore. We can get married. Nothing is going to come between us now. And then they start like passionately like making out. And so I'm going to do this for Eric.
I was gonna say, where's that bloom bloom?
Except it wasn't bloom bloom, because it was kind of like the music was a little more like explicit, like it was a little more bound chicka. It was more.
It really was.
It was more
Especially
that.
because, like, I swear to God, they almost were gonna do it on like the stove, and I'm like, wait, didn't you just turn a kettle on? Aren't you gonna burn your ass?
Yeah, they were about to do it all over that kitchen, and then Sheridan is like, "No, we can't do this." And Luis was so confused. He's like, "What's wrong? What's happening?" She's like, "I'm still Antonio's wife." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you are." And she's like, "Yeah, and I don't want to hurt Antonio. And also, we also have to think about Beth." And so they talk about Beth and how great Beth has been. Luis says, "Beth has been nothing but a great friend to both of us. She's not going to do anything to come between us." Meanwhile, cut to Beth, honey. Meanwhile, Beth is having a full-blown nervous breakdown. A little, a little NB, if you will. She's
She
a
was
nervy breaky. Yeah, a nervy bee. She's having one. She's throwing shit all over this house. She's just breaking shit, honey.
Oh yeah, like that's putting it mildly. She was, oh my, like it was spectacular. The amount of things she was throwing, and Mrs. Wallace is sitting on the couch with like her head tented with two pillows trying to protect herself from all the flying debris. And I'm like, in my notes, I'm like, how much you want to bet the neighbors are hating this moment, because if they live in such a small town, I'm sure the neighbors could hear this. She's not holding back. She's like full on screaming, throwing shit, like oh my goodness.
And her little breakdown started at the hospital. I didn't mention it.
Yeah, no, it started there, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, until she was at the house breaking shit. So yes, she is at the house just throwing stuff, breaking stuff. Edna, of course, throughout this is like antagonizing her, but she's like,
"Yes, she is. I did write that down.
Thank you for stopping my daughter." And you know, just like, now, Bethy, I told you you would never have him. Hallelujah. And Beth says, "Mother, I'll never, you're right, Mother, I'll never have Luis now," because Edna says that to her, like, "You're never gonna get Luis." She says, "You're right, Mother, I'll never have Luis now, but if I can't have him, I'm going to make sure that nobody else does." And then Beth says, "You know, this isn't completely Sheridan's fault." Ooh, and I want y'all to know I loved it. I loved every second of it. I said, I know that's right. Finally, get one of these men. Because they don't see consequences the way the women do. The way the women do. And, you know, and they don't see, like, nobody's blaming them. Hardly ever is anybody laying blame at their feet. When they are part of the problem, they have to be. It takes two to tango. Yep. Right? And so I loved that Beth had that thought. She said, you know, it's not entirely Sheridan's fault. Luis is partially to blame because he led me on. He promised me that he would marry me, and then he took it back. So if I can't have Luis, no one will. And she says, Luis and Sheridan are going to pay for all the pain in my heart with their lives. Now, do I condone this? Murder? No, of course not. Of course not. But I can see how what murder? You ever seen that clip?
What murder? Yes. Yes.
He's a great guy. What about all the murders? What murder? That's kind of how I feel about Beth.
Like Beth, literally, like not only did he say he was going to marry her and took it back, not only once, twice.
3 times, actually.
3 times. Okay, times. Yep.
3 times, actually. He left her the first time when Antonio left.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
Then, when
when Sheridan died, and now
Sheridan
again
died,
with.
and then this third time, because had told her that
Yep, you're right.
they were gonna get married after he thought that Sheridan had chosen Antonio, and that they were gonna get married, and then he changed his mind again. He took it back.
I'm not sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. I ain't sorry. Exactly, because
when that episode happens, you definitely need to clip it so we can just. I'm not sorry.
I have to. I ain't sorry. So, child, Beth has gone crazy because she goes outside. Well, first she duct tapes.
Yeah, she duct tapes her mother to the banister.
Yeah,
walker
and her
all.
walker. Yeah, and her walker. She's got her hands like taped to the walker, and then her body taped to the stair banister, and then she taped her mouth shut too.
Mm-hmm.
And so she duct tapes Edna, restrains her effectively, because Edna, of course, is like, I'm gonna tell it, Bethy. I gotta get the phone. I'm gonna call them. She's like, you don't have to call anybody.
I literally put Miss Wallace needs to stop telling her great ideas, like i.e. getting the phone, out loud.
Yeah, just be like, oh, well, that's crazy. I hope you calm down. I'm gonna go to bed, and then call.
Exactly.
And then call.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Edna. So Beth goes outside to, I guess, her car. I don't know whose car this is.
I don't know whose car it is.
But she has a rubber hose, and
where the fuck she got that? No one knows.
Maybe it was like a water hose. I don't know.
Yeah, but she siphons gas out of whoever's car that is.
She siphons the gas. She takes it with her mouth and starts sucking the gas out. Like,
you know how pissed you have to be to do that?
That's what I'm saying. It's so dangerous. She sucks the gas out. She gets something in her mouth. She spits it out, and then she starts filling up a little container with gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes to the cottage with it, and she watches through the window. She says, Sheridan and Luis won't get away with this. They will pay for treating me like garbage. Oh, will they pay? So she goes, she watches through the window as Luis and Sheridan are blissful, honey. They're fantasizing about getting married. He tells her the day her divorce is finalized is the day that they will get married. It's like, I don't want to get married on the same day as the day I get divorced. Like, can we get a different date for our anniversary?
Yeah, give me 24 hours at least. Come on.
I need it. Like, we can't even do it in the same month. I feel like I would need to do it the following month. I don't even want those dates next to each other. But anyway, they're talking and fantasizing about where they're going to go on their honeymoon. And they talk about all these different places in Europe. And then they talk about just like getting away from everybody and just being together and getting away from technology. And maybe we would just be you and me, and we'll wash our clothes on rocks or some bullshit.
Yeah, like in the river, and we won't, we'll have fire and da-da-da. And it was like, actually, maybe a washing machine.
Yeah, Sheridan's like, well, maybe we could keep the washing machine. And so she's watching through the window while they're, of course, and listening. Like, close your blinds, people.
I know, right?
While they're fantasizing about the life that they are bound to live together soon. And Beth says to herself, damn you, Sheridan. Damn you both. You won't have him, Sheridan. If I can't have Luis, then no one will. And then she starts just pouring gasoline all around the cottage.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't have Luis, no one will, especially not Sheridan. And then she sets the cottage on fire. So I have this clip. This is our last clip for the day.
It's a good one.
It is. It might be a little soft. So
I also have a note for that. How the fuck did she get on the property?
Oh, anybody can get on the property now these days.
I was gonna say, like, is Frank whoever the intersection guard still working?
Frank Lomax does not do his job. He clearly has been fired, or I don't know. Crane has no security whatsoever.
It just cracks me up. They're supposed to be like, oh, where's that? And she just fucking, you know.
The only thing I can think is that Pilar of like it's Teresa's house right now, and
oh, you're right, that's true.
And so they're kind of like in-laws, and so she could just be like known to the.
You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And so they let her on the premises, but I don't think she checked in with any
No,
security.
I'm sure no one ever does, but it's supposed, they're supposed to be,
Yeah, they're supposed to be Crane security. Well, but here's the thing. That's a good question though, because she sets the cottage on fire, and surely there will be an investigation about what happened. And so then it's like, well, who was on the grounds at the time, right? And did she check in at security? Did security see her? So that's you and I are already doing more police work than Sam will.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or Luis will do. But yeah, let's get into this clip.
Yeah, let's watch that mother.
Watch that mother burn. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Watch that motherfucker burn.
Oh, she's whistling. How did they not hear her whistling outside?
Yeah, she's whistling. Yeah.
Oh, because they're making out. That's why they can't hear her whistling.
No one can stop me from getting what I want. Look what happened to my mother when she tried. She couldn't stop me.
I mean, I felt bad for Ed.
Yeah, like that's gotta hurt.
Soon. We're gonna be together soon. We're gonna be able to be together in public.
No more hiding our relationship.
No more hiding our lives together.
We're not hiding
Sheridan, we're gonna be married. Let's start building our lives together.
I can't wait. I love you so much.
Love you too. Nothing's gonna get in the way of us being happy now.
I think Beth might have something to say about that.
Yep.
No, I will not let this happen. If I can't have Luis, no one will, especially not Sheridan. No one will have Luis. No one.
And you cannot see her outside. What?
All right, so burn, baby, burn. It's an inferno. Or I'm thinking of Hamilton. I'm erasing myself from the narrative.
Yeah.
Future historians wonder how Beth reacted when you broke her heart. You have torn it all apart. I'm watching you burn.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Beth is watching them burn, honey. Oh, so that's it. That's all I have for this week. Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
So it was a little bit shorter episode, but I'm okay with that. We managed to finish before 5 o'clock, which I'm thrilled about. We've been on since 11, so we did our work. We did.
And plus, you got more work ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll edit this tomorrow and whatever. It'll be fine.
But remember,
I'm editing last week's episode, huh?
I said, remember, if you need an assistant, I'm around.
Kelley, you know what? I owe you an email, a conversation, and I honestly thank you for reminding me or bringing that up because I was gonna talk to you about it today, actually. So, If you got time, I'll talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, no,
after
that's
this.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's it, folks. Kelley, where can people find you?
The Discord.
On the Discord. You can find me on the Discord as well. Go over to Passions Podcast. Nope. Go over to patreon.com/Passions Podcast to sign up for whatever tier you find most agreeable. And I think that's it, y'all. You are my passion for life.